What if I told you that I have a tool that you can use to 3x your closing rate on the biggest, most complex deals you ever chase? What if I told you that I've developed a way for you to cut 25% out of your sales cycle on the biggest, most complex deals? Well, guess what? I'm about to reveal to you a way that you can identify, organize, and lead teams around your biggest sales challenges, whether it's landing the big fish or saving your biggest account. And it starts with a simple piece of advice that's designed to change your paradigm about how you sell. And whoever you are, whether you're an inside sales rep, an SDR, an account executive, a sales manager, if you're ambitious, you need to go upstream and work on the big, difficult deals, and it's going to start with one simple piece of advice. You ready? But I got to take you back. I'm going to take you back to 1997 when my life changed, when a sales leader gave me this piece of advice, and I just changed everything in terms of how I pursued my career. So it's 1997. I was one of the first employees at Mark Cuban's Broadcast.com. I was so early stage, we still called the company AudioNet. We did audio and video streaming. We had added a division I worked for called Business Services. So we were doing B2B sales to audio stream or video stream events and content for big companies like Intel or Gartner or big universities like Harvard. Now, we were preparing for an IPO, and Cuban knew that billing $17,000 or $50,000 here and there wasn't going to generate a real stock offering. We had to go upstream and figure out how to get those big $250,000, $500,000 deals done. So he brought in a vice president of business services, Stan Woodward. Stan Woodward had a background in big deal hunting and big account management. He worked first at National Semiconductor and then later at Ascend, a big router technology equipment company similar to Cisco. So it was the first day of Stan's tenure as our VP of Business Services, and he gathered all the sales folk up in the Crow's Nest, which was our makeshift conference room in the warehouse that Cuban had designed for Broadcast.com. I'll never forget the first thing he said to us. He said, guys, we have got to chase bigger opportunities. And he says, the bigger they are, the harder it's going to be for them to fall. And he says, you're going to get stuck. He says, somewhere in the sales process, you're going to get stuck and see that it's not moving forward, but we've got to win those deals. He said, so when you get stuck, don't go down alone. He said, you will never get credit for failing all by yourself. He says, grab somebody that knows something about why you're stuck, knows something about the problem, knows something about the customer. He said, if it's a broadcast technology issue, go grab Bobby back in the broadcast center. If it's a design or engineering issue, go grab Jason or someone at HTML. If it's a presentation issue, grab David in marketing. If it's a pricing issue, go talk to Todd over in finance. But he said, whatever you do, pull together collective brain power, and I promise you guys, you will make it rain. Don't go down alone. When he said that, there was like this connection in my head of two concepts: brainstorming, which I had studied deeply in my days as a manager in Quality Circle world in the 80s, and deal making, something I've been exposed to for about 10 years at that point, that linear process from A to B to C to D. And when I thought about this, brainstorming and deal making coming together, the word deal storming hit me. I leaned over to one of my buddies and said, cool beans, we're going to start deal storming. And that's exactly what we started doing. A few months later, I had an opportunity to pitch Wincom, which is a communications company that transmitted Stephen Covey Sr. and Tom Peters' presentations, and they were considering a very big deal with us to stream their key talent and their key events. And it was a big, difficult pitch. So I built my first deal storm team. We literally pitched Tom Peters directly, got stuck a little bit later in the procedure, and through about 6 meetings, we got to the finish line with the biggest deal in our company's history. And over again, I used this process. We eventually were sold to Yahoo. I went to Yahoo, went into sales at that time. The dot-com crash was upon us. We had to rebuild our entire book of business, which previously had been dot-coms, and now had to be Fortune 5,000 companies. And on the back of the dot-com crash, over 60 times I led deal storm teams, and we closed 7 out of 10 big opportunities. And I truly believe that experience enabled me over the next decade to lead deal storms and give sales advice to folks just like you when you get stuck. And it always starts with the commandment, don't go down alone.